Let's talk about all of this first with Marilyn Hawes, Chief Executive of Freedom from Abuse, who campaigns on exactly these sorts of issues. Marilyn, good to have you with us this evening. How could this have happened?
Well, I firstly want to say well done to these girls who literally, against all odds, sought out help, were ignored, were told they were prostitutes, etc., etc., and so it goes on. And we only have one life. And these, I'm not even calling them animals, because I love animals. You don't get animals behaving like these.
Yes,
these
true.
are evil monsters of the worst description. They're not even human. I was delighted when I saw the sentence today, because I knew 3 months ago these creeps were going to be in court on the 1st of October. I knew then, and I'm thinking, this is going to be interesting. I wonder what they're going to get. But I hate to tell you, Ben, this is going on all over the country.
Yep.
This is not just 2 children. There are thousands of children. You've only got to look, just off the top of my head now, Newcastle, Telford, Oxford, Oldham, Rotherham, and so it goes on. Right across the UK, it is still happening today. And the reason this was ignored, covered up, was because of a fear of upsetting racial, inclusion and all of that. How can you possibly, I don't care whether you're blue with pink spots, whatever you are,
Yep.
How can you ignore a child that turns up across the country at a police station, covered in bruises, bleeding, crying, and be told you're a prostitute and turned away into the taxis of the very perpetrators that were driving them? It's not just about Rochdale, it's everywhere. Actually, considering Rochdale is also so near Manchester, these cases go back to 2001, don't they? I struggle to understand how, and I would love to talk to him actually, how Andy Burnham, I think he came into being in 2015, how he's ignored all this. I mean, he's gone back. I mean, I've known about it for 30 years, and everybody ad nauseum across the country has buried their head in the sand, sacked people like Maggie Oliver. And when it came to the actual ICSA inquiry, the thing about exploitation, it's not grooming gangs, they are vile rape gangs.
Yep.
There were 2 pages in the inquiry, and the Labour Party, and I know we've had the Labour conference, but they are dragging their feet on this inquiry. And this is why it needs to happen, because those very people who, for whatever reason, ignored these youngsters, and they are not just people from care homes. I know plenty of really nice kids from, if you like, middle class, I hate to use that word, but from nice families who got to meet the wrong friend in school and got into these gangs and met these people, wrong place, wrong time.
But Marilyn, the thing that I keep coming back to, whether the children were in care homes, a lot of them were, or they weren't, like the people you're talking about, is what were all the adults in their life doing to enable them? Why?
Ignoring it.
How?
Because they don't care, because they were silenced by people at the top, silenced by the councils, silenced because racism and the fear that you're going to lose your job if you whistleblow and all the rest of it. And
the parents, the aunts, the uncles, the care workers, the teachers.
I know. It's
all
outrageous. I know there are a lot of good care homes and where children live, don't get me wrong. But I know of cases across the country where the care workers knew these men were turning up to pick these girls up. It is absolutely appalling. You have vulnerable children,
yes,
you have perpetrators, and people that get money from those perpetrators is corrupt.
But you have to rely on the care system, the social workers, the people who work in the care homes, Marilyn, to know how to keep the children in their care safe. And in too many cases, they either don't know how to or they don't care enough to actually do it.
They don't care. And they're too frightened about their jobs because somebody at the top is breathing down their neck saying, ignore it. I was speaking about 3 or 4 months ago when the last lot of this came up to a guy who was actually, he was in a detective sergeant, and he had been seconded up to that area, and he was actually looking into burglaries by Pakistani people, men that were funding this obnoxious habit of theirs, and he saw young girls being picked up by random people on street corners. And he went back to the police station and said, I don't understand what's going on. This isn't right. I've come up from another area. I'm on seconded here for a month. Why are these girls, 13 years old, talking to these men in taxis? What's going on? And the men in blue said, don't worry, sir. Don't worry, sir. It's all being handled. It's all being sorted. Now he knows the reality of what he was seeing. He can't sleep at night and he's now retired. Yep. I can put you in touch with him if you want to talk to him.
I'd like to talk to him, Marilyn.
It is outrageous. And every single person, whoever they are, without fear or favour, for whatever reason, ignored these girls and also boys across the UK, need to be arrested and charged, put behind bars, and have their pensions taken away from them. No one should be protected. The children weren't protected. These girls' lives, now women, have been absolutely drenched by these vile men. And it's still going on.
And that's what worries me, that the lessons that need to be learned urgently to protect more children haven't been learned, aren't being learned. And right now, as we speak about it, more children might be being abused. Marilyn, thank you. Really appreciate you coming on the show tonight. Marilyn Hawes, Chief Executive of Freedom from Abuse.